Good morning to all. I am Pavunraj. I am working as Assistant Professor in Department of Artificial Intelligence and Data Science, Well-Tech Multitech, Dr. Rangarajan, Dr. Sagunthala Engineering College. Now we discuss the topic is about Web Essential Client. The client that resides on the remote machine communicate with the server and fetch the informations, process it, and then display on it remote machine is called as a client. The software is sent the HTTP request to the server and then process the HTTP response. The various form of the web client softwares are web browser. Browser is running on the mobile phone. Web browser. Web browser is a kind of the software which is basically used to use the resources on the web. Over the network, the two computers communicate with each other. In these communications, when a request is made by the one computer, then that computer is called as a client machine. And then the request is get and served by this another one computer is called as a server. The exchange of information take place via client-server communication. Server. The software that is distribute the information and the machine where the information software is reside is called as a server. With the internet, it is possible to access almost any information, communicate with anyone else in the world, and do much more. Web server, the software that delivers the web pages and the other document to the browser using HTTP protocol. Web page. Web page is a document or resources of information that is suitable for the World Wide Web and can be accessed through the web browser. The next one is website. What is meant by website? A collection of the web pages on the World Wide Web that are accessible from the same URL and typically residing on the same server. The next one, URL. URL stands for Uniform Resource Locator. It is a unique address for the file that has to be accessed over the internet. When we want to access some website, we enter into URL on the address bar of the web browser. For example, if we want to access the www.google.com, then we must specify the URL in the address bar. The next topic is client-server paradigm. The client-server paradigm is the most prevalent model for distributed computing protocol. It is a basis of all distributed computing paradigm at a higher level of abstraction. It is a service-oriented and employ a request and response protocol. A server process running on a server host it provides access to the service. For examples, first is user type the website address for demanding a desired web page www.google.com. The web address is divided into three parts. The first one is a protocol. HTTP is a hypertext transfer protocol which is tell the web browser the user which communicate with the web server on port 80. 80 is a reserved for communication between the web browser and web server. The second part of the web server address. This tell the web browser which server it need to contact in order to retrieve the information you looking for. The web browser communicate with the domain name server and find the IP address for the website. All the communications on the internet use IP address for the communication. A client process running on the client host is access the service via server process. The interactions of the process proceeds according to the protocol. The primary idea of the client-server system is that you have to send a repository of information. Some kind of the data is often database that you want to distribute on demand to some set of the people or machine. The next one, internet. The internet is linking of the many computers all over of the world. Using such linking, the user can share the information or communicate with each other. The internet is the largest network in the world and connects the hundreds of thousands of the individual network all over the world. The popular term of the internet is a information highway. With the internet, it's possible to access almost any information, we communicate with anyone else in the world, and too much more. The next one is web. The web stands for World Wide Web. It consists of the information is organized into web pages containing text and graphic images. It contains hypertext links or highlighted keyword and images that lead to later information. Hyperlink. The hyperlinks linking of the one web page into another one web pages. The next one, the collections of the linked web pages that has common theme or focus called as a website. The main page that all of the pages on particular website are recognized around and linked back to is called as a home page. The next topic is how to access the internet. Many schools and business have direct access to the internet using special high-speed communication lines and equipment. Students and employees can access through the organization local area network or through their own personal computers. So another way to access the internet is through internet service provider. The internet service provider whom we paid for getting the some internet services. In past, most of the ISP were run by the telephone companies, but nowadays even some private group who have sufficient money and expertise can be a internet service provider. A typical setup is required for getting the internet. The first one is a computer, then modem, then ISP. It is a typical setup of internet. A commercial organization which permanent connections to the internet that sell the temporary connection to the subscriber. For examples, America Online, Microsoft Network, AD&T networks. These are the examples of the internet service provider. The next topic is how to access the web. Once you have internet connections, then you need a special software is called as browser. The browser is used to access the web. The web browser is used to connect to the remote computer and open and transfer the files and display the text and images. Web browsers are specialized program. For examples of the web browsers, Internet Explorer, Google Chrome, Netscape Navigator. These are the examples of the web browser. The next topic, client server structures of the web. Already known what is a client and what is a server. Web is a collection of the files that resides on the computer is called as a web server. Data is located all the over of the world and are connected to each other through the internet. When you use the internet connection to become part of the web, your computer became a web client in the worldwide client server network. A browser. A web browser is a software that you run on your computer to make it work as a client. The next topic is HTML. So what is meant by HTML? HTML stands for Hypertext Markup Language. The hypertext is a simple piece of the text that works as a link. So markup language is a language of writing layout information within the document. Basically, the HTML document is a plain text files. It contains rich text. Any HTML program can be written in a simple notepad or wordpad text editor. The extensions of these programs should be either HTML or HTML. The HTML is user code or tag to tell the web browser software how to display the text contained in the document. The next topic, addressing on the web internet protocol. The internet protocol is a set of the rules governing communication within and between the computer and the network. The main functions of the protocol are deciding how to announce, send and receive the data, addressing the data, deciding how the data is to be sent, and compressing the data to identify the errors. A computer communication protocol is a detailed specifications of how communication between the two computers will be carried out in order to serve some purpose. The next one, commonly used protocols. The OSI ISO model consists of 7 layers, and each and every layer one or more protocol used to handle the transmission of data. The first layer, physical layer. Then second one, data link layer. Third one, network layer. Fourth one, transport layer. Fifth one, session layer. And sixth one, presentation layer. And seventh one, application layer. Each and every layer consists of one or more protocols. Some commonly used protocols are first one is FTP and second one SMTP, third one IMAP and fourth one POP3 and fifth one Telnet. FTP. FTP stands for File Transfer Protocol. It provides a service for file transfer and manipulation. FTP allows the multiple simultaneous computer that lack of security features. The file transfer protocol sets the rules for transferring the file between the computer. When a users want to download a file from the server, FTP is used. FTP is used the two connection between the client and the server. One connection is used for actual data transfer and another one is used for control information. When a client is make a request for the particular file download, then using the data transfer connection, actual data get transmitted from the server to the client. At the same time, the server keep the track of how much of data is sent and how much is remaining. This tracking can be done using the control transfer connection. Hence, during the file downloading or uploading, we can see the messages, how much byte are getting transferred and how much time is remaining. The various commands are used in FTPs are user command, pass command, delete command. The user command, it is identify the user. Pass command, it is identify the password, and delete command, it deleting a file. The next one, SMTP. SMTP stands for Simple Mail Transfer Protocol. It is used to send an email to remote email server. SMTP, it is enable the network administrator to manage the network devices and diagnose the network problems. The network management system is based on two main elements, supervisor and agent. The supervisor is a terminal at which the network administrator is requested for the network management. The agent are found at level of the interface connecting the managed device to the network. IMAP. IMAP stands for Internet Message Access Protocol. It is used to download an email from the remote email server. Then POP3. POP3 stands for Post Office Protocol version 3. It is used to download an email from the remote email server. Telnet. Telnet, it is an application used to connect the remote server that lack the security features. The next one, HTTP. HTTP stands for Hypertext Transfer Protocol. It is govern how files such as text, graphics, sound, and videos are enhanced to the World Wide Web. It is a request and response protocol. It is a communication protocol. It is used to transfer the information on local area network and worldwide web. This network protocol is used to deliver them virtually all the files and other data on the worldwide web. The get and post, the two popular methods are used by the HTTP protocol. This also is called as a stateless protocol because this protocol is not able to maintain the previous information. The next one, examples of HTTP protocol. The user make a request to the server. The server processes the request and respond to the client. A website URL starting with HTTP is entered in a web browser from the computer. The browser can be Chrome, Firefox, Edge, or Safari, Opera, or anything else. The browser sends a request to the web server that hosts a website. The web server that is written the response as a HTML page or other document format to the browser. The browser display the request from the server to the user. The HTTP basic structure. HTTP is a command and response text-based protocol used in the client-server communication model. The HTTP basic structure includes the two message types. The first one is a request message and the second one is a response message. So what is a request message? The HTTP request or message sent by the client to initiate an actions on the server. Every HTTP request message has some basic structure. First one request or start line, second one header field, and third one plan line, and fourth one message body. Request message or start line. The request message or start line is mandatory and structured as method plus requested URI and protocol version. Method. It tells the server that is action to perform. Requested URI. The resource path is usually URL or absolute path of the protocol port or domain name is usually characterized by the request context. Protocol version. The protocol versions define a structure of remaining messages acting as an indicator of the expected versions to use the response. Start lines method. The HTTP methods indicate the method to be performed on the resource identify the given requested URI. The detailed method and descriptions are shown below. The method, get method, post method, put method, delete, trash, option, connect, and patch. These are the methods are used for the start line. First one, get method. Get method is retrieve the information from the server. Then one, head method. The same as the get method, but it transfer the status line and header section only. Post method is send the data to the server for processing, and put method is store the body of the request on the server, and delete method is remove the content from the server. Trace method brought the server to the server. Option method determine what method can operate on the server. Connect method convert the request connection to the transparent TCP to tunnel, and patch method is apply the partial modification to the resource. The second part of the start line, it is also known as a request URI. The URI stands for Uniform Resource Identifier. That indicate to be associated with the particular resources on the World Wide Web. Every URI consists of the two parts. The scheme which is appear before the colon, and another part is depends upon the scheme. The URI using the HTTP schemes are both URI and URL. The resource path or requested URI follow the chosen method, the requested line. The purpose of the uniform resource identifiers recognizes the resource of the requested target. The next one, HTTP version. So many versions are available. HTTP 0.9, HTTP 1.0, HTTP 1.1 and HTTP 2.0. The version in common use is HTTP 1.1 and the future will be HTTP 2.0. In each and every version, so what are the methods are supported, what are the response type, what are the conditions are supported in each and every version. Supported method in HTTP 0.9 get method. In HTTP 1.0 get head method and post method, and 1.1 get method, post method, head method, put method, delete method, trace method and option method. Response time in HTTP 0.9 hypertext, then 1.0 not limited to the hypertext, and 1.1 is not limited to the hypertext. Connection nature in HTTP 0.9 it terminated immediately after the response. In 1.0 it terminated immediately after the response, and 1.1 is long lived. Then HTTP 2.0 the future. The next one, start line example. The start line example is also below. Get slash text dot stm http slash 1.1 get is your method. Then text dot stm is a relative page to the source, and http 1.1 it is a protocol versions we are using. The web browser uses a URL that we enter it to create a relative URI of the resources. The next one, request message header field. The HTTP header fields provide us required information about the request or response, or about the object sent in the message body. The host header field is required in the every HTTP slash 1.1 request message. The HTTP 1.1 is also defined a number of other header fields, several of the which are commonly used by modern browser. Each header field is begin with the field name such as host and followed by a colon and then a field name. The next topic is response message. The response message, each request has a response. The every HTTP response message consists of the following. The first one, status line, and second one, header field, and third one, blank line, and fourth one, message body. The status line. The start line of the HTTP response is called as a status line. It consists of the following informations. The first one, protocol versions, is usually HTTP 1.1. Then is a status code. The status codes indicate the success or failure of the request. The common status codes are 200, 404 and 302. The typical examples of these status lines like HTTP slash 1.1 404. The 404 indicate the page is not found. The next one, header field. HTTP header or response follow the same structure as any other header. A case sensitive string followed by a colon and a value whose structure depends upon the type of the header. The whole header including its values present a single line. These are the examples of header field.